we go on there, YouTube? Recently, Conan got an update which fixed the running stamina issue. So I thought, yeah, give us a second. So I thought I'd give up some advice, tips, tricks, guides, I'm going to call it, on my PvP. It's a private server, but it's open to the public. It's PvP on the weekends, and it is currently the weekend, so it's PvP time. I'm at my base. First of all, to get it out of the way, I've checked on this server. The distance stuff, of the mountains and stuff, is still coming up white for me. But I've never had it like blinding white. It's always just been white. So I don't know whether they have fixed that issue. The people I've spoken to that are on Xbox say that yeah, it's not blinding white for them, and next gen PS5s are saying it's not as bad, but it's still like, if you look there, that's still really white for me. It's not. It's obviously something to do with the fog. So they still need to fix that, but apparently it is better on next gens. I'm just waiting for the sun to come up. The update we had fixed the run issue, so when you're running and you stop moving the thing without clicking on the stick, without moving, and it goes back to walk, that is now fixed, so you're not stuck in run. They also said that the walls have been fixed. Now the issue here is some of the walls have been fixed. Let me just run through my base here. I'm using these walls here because the Numidian walls are not correct yet. Those ones are fixed, the crenulateds. So if I try and climb up here, I get spiked. So those ones are fixed. They weren't spiking me before, but they are fixed now. That's my gate to my main quarters. But if I come back to this one, which has the fences, these are not spiking me. As you can see, I can climb up here and it's not spiking me. So these are obviously still incorrect. These should be spiking you. As walls are supposed to spike you, fences are supposed to spike you, same as the crenulateds. But on the Numidian, only the crenulateds spike you. So if you're building a base with the Numidian piece, the new DLC, only use the crenulated walls or fences, as they will spike, whereas the standard ones do not spike. So there's my archer up there. So she's looking there so she can get a shot at the elevators. So that if people come up the elevators... there's my two elevators. Furthest one there is a slow or standard elevator. This one here is a fast elevator. They'll come around here, they'll have this fighter to deal with, and then the archer. So this server is meant to be a friendly PvP server. It has rules in place where you're not allowed to destroy people's buildings. So technically raiding is a frowned upon situation, and if you destroy someone's base, you'll get banned. However, if for example I'm running around and you see me and you go for me and you try and kill me, that's fine, it's PvP. There are raidables around the map. So if you come across a raidable, and it's actually labelled as a raidable, one of the admins has placed it, you're allowed to raid that. You can destroy that place, you can take the loot that's in it and all that. So yeah, if you want to see the Numidian stuff, I have done a creative build, but this one here, there's the walls, door frames, floor pieces. That's what the side of the foundations look like, which I do like, the log look. The only thing that's sucky is the fence foundations don't have this same pattern. It's more of that door pattern. The roofs are nice. Let's come in here. The small windows, which are those ones there, up there. If you can see where my little dot is, those ones there, I haven't checked, but they cannot be dismantled in the dismantling bench. Let me just double check. Because I'm pretty sure I had one here, didn't I? No, okay. I did have one I was checking. Yeah, nudity's still working properly, as you can see there, my dancer Thrall there. Yeah, full naked. Oh yeah, because I moved that in the back. Oh yeah, daylight, I can check for the mountains for you. You can't really see them because they're so bright. Okay. That's still an issue, not loading the clothes in properly. Texture pop-in's an issue, like if I go inside a building, we'll come in here for a second. I'll come in here, build a heap of stuff, I'll come out here, I'm running out here. Texture didn't load in there properly. Side. I've got to run all the way up this way. Sometimes you got to run further before it happens, and it didn't happen. But you'll get, like, especially these ones, they're a little wet cardboard because it's not loading the textures in properly. Just run all the way across. Get a trigger. No, it's not going to trigger. Okay. So the texture pop-in's still an issue. We are having lag issues. Thralls not loading in, but they'll have their health bar above their head or whatever. Quick little. Let's grab this one out here. Will be fine. If you're doing PvP times, if you go to your Thrall, if you go into a friend, go to behavior, go to engagement, and go across to attack nothing, which is down here. That Thrall will no longer attack anything. You just got to remember that also means it will not attack if you're out wandering around and something attacks you. It's not going to attack it unless you look at the from a distance. Look at it. Push on the PlayStation, press square, or on the Xbox, press X. Go attack that, then they will attack it. So if you're doing an exploration, you're meeting up with a friend that's not in your clan, and you've got your Thrall with you, just before you bump into them, go into your Thrall and go attack nothing. They shouldn't, in brackets, shouldn't attack your friend. I cannot guarantee if, like for example, if I take this Thrall here, have it on attack nothing and go to somebody else's base, I can't guarantee that my Thrall is not going to attack anything else if she is attacked. Same with if your friend attacks the Thrall. If you say attack nothing, if your friend then attacks your Thrall, I cannot guarantee that your Thrall's not going to attack back. I haven't done any testing on it, so yeah. I can't guarantee that either way. Just to show you the difference, if I go that and then that, this is the speed differences of the elevators. Just in case anyone is curious, so they are a fair bit quicker. Yeah, so at the moment the only issues we're having is lag, and it's not our end lag, it's your end lag. We are having an issue on the PlayStation where it's going, you have to be signed into PSN, even though we're already signed into PSN. I'm just backing out of that and it's loading me in. I think it's something to do with the fact that it logs into the Funcom service. I've got a sneaking suspicion that when it logs into the Funcom, or attempts to log into the Funcom service, it's registering that you're not in PSN. So it's obviously something they've got to do on the back end. That ghosting you can see there behind the character, that's still a big problem. Texture pop-in's a little bit of an issue. Occasionally you will get the sound disappear from your footsteps when you're running, but it's nothing major. Invisible thralls is a problem. If you run into a camp, if you're having trouble loading, textures are popping in, be cautious going into high density thrall areas, because if the thralls aren't loaded in, you can still get attacked by them. So you'll be attacked by an invisible person, and that is super annoying. But generally speaking, the game is, if you're thinking about buying Conan, it is at a very good state right now. There's a few situations where I would change certain settings. And if anyone at Funcom's watches this or hears of this, here's my suggestions. I've emailed you about a couple of features I wish to see implemented. But bedrolls give us a option in the settings for server owners to make it so that people can have more than one bedroll. That'd be a really cool feature. So for example, if you place a bedroll here and you go in a room, you should better place another bedroll and have it so that on the official server you can leave it at 1, but make it so there's a slider on the server settings, so you can choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bedrolls or whatever. Make it a limit of 5 or 10, but make it so that you can choose how many it is, so you can set up bedroll locations. That'd be really cool. And if it's a server setting, so the server owner can choose what it is. So if it's a PvP server, they can choose 1 bedroll. If it's a PvE server, you can choose 5 bedrolls. And then when you die, you just bedroll and choose from the list. Bench thralls, let us edit their outfits. So if you've got a thrall on the bench, let us choose what outfits they wear. That'd be really, really cool. A thrall editing system in the Nurgle bench would be really cool. Go up to the Nurgle bench, go as if you're going to edit your character, and if you've got a thrall with you that's following, give us an option to scroll left or right to choose you or your thrall. That would be really, really nice. Because being a human being and knowing what the abilities of an archer would be, and finding your perfect level 3 or named archer, and it's got breasts the size of planets, and you know for a fact that an archer would not have breasts that big because they would not be able to draw their bow properly, it annoys the hell out of you. So being able to edit their appearance would be really, really nice. Mods. Now I know Funcom have made a statement they don't want to step on the modders' feet. Now this goes the same with all the other games. The evil, disgusting crapfest of Cyberpunk and CDPR and those douchebag low lives. All these other games that say we don't want to do modding because on consoles because of insert bullshit here. You don't have to allow modding, but give us the features that the mods have. Collaborate with the modders. We're not asking for a miracle, we're just asking for like the Pippi mod. There is certain features in the Pippi mod, like being able to set up, the admin's better set up a market or something like that. So with the Pippi mod there is a feature in there where you can set up a currency. The admin can spawn it in an NPC and make it a vendor. And then you can tell that vendor if it receives certain amount of gold, silver, bronze, or the currency that the Pippi mod adds, that it can then sell you a certain item. So, if for example, the admin on this server want to sell you the stuff from the island, because this is the mainland, and you can't get some of the island stuff. But if you want to be able to buy the island stuff on this mainland, the admin can set up a vendor, for example, the question marks, the lessons, the graders, and stuff like that. They might want to make it so that you can buy that stuff. If you bring 100 gold, you can buy question marks. They can set that up. That is what we want. The Pippi mod, Exiles Extreme, there's another one, Age of Calamitous, Funcom. Speak to the modders. Say, can we use some of your features in our game, even if you make it as a DLC? This is the perfect way to do it. Go to Exiles Extreme, the Pippi modders and all that. We would like to use your vending feature and your teleport feature, or your map on screen feature, in as a DLC. We will be selling the DLC for around about the $15 mark. You will get 10% of the profits. I am willing to bet that the modders will say yes. And they'll use the excuse, oh, but then we have to worry about doing the updates and stuff like that. No, you don't. When you add, for example, the Aquilanian DLC, you haven't updated that. You've just done your normal game updates, and any features, like for example, if a piece in there is broken, yeah, you'll fix it, but that's it. You're not going to update anything. You're not going to make anything change in there. What it is what it is. Do it like that. So I can guarantee you there is features. I've emailed you about it. Certain features. About inclusiveness and stuff like that. Not going to get into it. But Exiles Extreme has some of the features that I was referring to. Release them as DLCs. I am more than happy to buy these DLCs to assist the modders and to assist yous into making the game a better game. Because it's, at its current state, is probably the best game on PS4. I can't say the same for Xbox, but PS4, PS5, and I want to take a leap and say Xbox and the Series X. When it comes to playability feature-wise, it's uncensored, it's survival, it's open world, it's multiplayer or single player. You do not have to be connected to play it. It has the admin panel. It has all the good shit. It has the stuff like, if you're an online player and you want to play online PvPer, you can jump onto a PvP server, fight people, have a good time. If you're a PvEer but you want to socialise, you can jump onto the PvE server, socialise, have a good time. If you're a hermit, you don't want to get playing with people, you want to play offline, you can play offline. You can still use your admin panel, you can spawn shit in. It has the thralls, it has decent combat, it has the climbing mechanics, it has the base building mechanics, it has all that stuff. So it is a very robust game. It's just that some of the features that we want, and let's be blunt, the game does need some of these features. It's only available in mods, and them using the excuse, oh, we don't want to step on their toes. That's great for PC, because then they can just download the mod. But us on console, it's like we're getting screwed over. Cyberpunk is the perfect example. A lot of people are defending Cyberpunk. Oh, I played on PC and it's running perfectly fine. It's a great game. Yeah, how many fucking mods you got? Oh, I only got 100 mods. Console don't have any mods. We got the base game. We're getting royally screwed. And when the game companies go, oh, we can't add mods because of lag issues, stability issues, or whatever. Well, don't add the mod system. Add the mod features as a DLC. The perfect example is the Pippi mod with the vendors. All they have to do is get in touch with the people that make Pippi mod. Say, can we use your feature? They don't have to use their coding or nothing like that. They can just say, that feature, can we add that feature to the game? We will release it as a DLC. It will be getting charged at around about 15, 30, 75, 100, whatever they're charging for it. Let the modders know what they're going to charge for it, and you will get 10% of the profits. Or 5% of the profits. Or whatever number they choose. Say that to the modder. The modder will, I'm willing to bet, the modder will say, yeah, no worries. Because I'm telling you now, if I'm a modder, and if I could get Conan Exiles on my PC without Steam, I would do it in a heartbeat. But I am not installing that Steam shit or Epic shit. I'm not putting a launcher on my PC just to play a game. No, get fucked. I want to put the disc in and play it. But if I could get the features from the mods, the Calamitous mod has like a lot of, especially the clothing, because we need clothing, not armor, clothing. Because I'm not a PvPer. Like, it's not that I'm bad at PvP, because I'm above average at PvP. I'm not a PvPer. I don't want to say I'm a role player, but categorize me as a social player. So I'll come on and my character is me, but I'm not going to the depths of in Conan. For example, if I'm a, in brackets, blacksmith, and I'm not on, someone just sends me a message and says, can you make me this? And I'll go, yeah, no worries. The real role player will go, no, you can't do that because there is no messaging in Conan. You have to be there in person to speak to them. I'm not that far into roleplay. Huh? I'm the kind of person that, throw me the message on PlayStation. Throw me the message in chat or whatever. I say, is there any chance you can make me this? I'll send you a message back, yeah, no worries, I'll make it for you, I'll leave it in a box or whatever. That's the kind of person I am. And the roleplay server I had was that. It wasn't hardcore, it was light. A lot of these mods, the Pippi mod vendor, the Age of Calamitous clothing, Exiles Extreme with the extras for your character creation, and I believe it had the usable toilet and stuff like that. Those features are what I want. Of course, it always bugs me that, yeah, you've got to eat to survive, but there's no bathing, there's no going to the toilet. There's no way to set up proper stores. There's no clothing. So back in this day, we didn't wear clothes, we only wore armor. I find that a little odd. There's cities, but yet we don't wear clothing, we only wear armor. So that's what I would like to see. So if Funcom hears or sees this video, this is my pleas. Send me a message. I want to open a discussion, and I can tell you exactly what needs to be added to make this game great. But please communicate to your modders and say, can we use these features? You will get credit, and when we release it as a DLC, so you're not adding mods, you're adding a DLC, you will get a certain amount of percentage of profit from it. That's what I'm going to say. Well, I'm going to call the stream there. So, in summary, the Numidian walls, fences, are still not working properly. They're still not spiking. The crenulated are. So if you're building out of the Numidians, um, the frontier pieces and the arena pieces seem to fit rather well because the wood and the stone fit with the walls. Or use the crenulated walls, the crenulated fences. Don't use the standard fences, they do not spike. It's okay if you're on a PvE server, the not spiking is fine, but if you're on a PvP server like this one here, if I want to stop people from getting up onto that roof, I have to use either these walls, or these fences, or the crenulated, because the crenulated spike, the standard fences do not. The run is fixed. When you stop, you're no longer running. There are some other little bugs and stuff that I would like to point out, but I'm not going to get into it. And the distant mountains on my end are still white, but I've never had a blinding light, so I can't tell you for sure. And Funcom, speak to your modders. Don't release it as a mod. If you can't do modding, release them as DLCs. Because us on console, we need it. The Pippi mod, Exiles Extreme, and Calamitous. Those are the three main ones. There are other mods as well. Throw me a message. I'm more than happy to start up a conversation and tell you exactly what features should be implemented, both on the admin side and on the player side, that will make this game great. I'm going to call it. You guys stay safe. I'm out of here. Funcom, get in touch. Stay safe. Catch us next time.